Hello and welcome to Buddha and the Coach vlog powered by Soul Performance Academy. I am your host, Dan Mickle. The Buddha and the Vlog is a weekly vlog focused on looking at the teachings of the Buddha in a coaching light. The Buddha and the Coach is proud to be sponsored by ICN Athletics. ICN Athletics makes the extraordinary ordinary through adaptive beach volleyball. Everyone should have the opportunity to enjoy and excel at this sport, and ICN offers the programs and education to make normal for adaptive athletes to play on any court. Help us make the beach volleyball court a place for everybody. For more information or to make a donation to the 501c3 corporation, please visit icnathletics.com. Thank you, and they'll see you in the sand. And again, thank you to Dave and John and everybody over at ICN Athletics and all the great stuff they're doing. Please make sure you check it out, see what they got going on, and follow them on all their social media and their websites. Again, icnathletics.com. All right, lesson number 15 this week, and it is kindness should become the natural way of life, not the exception. Great message, pretty simple, but I'm going to go a little bit different of a direction. It'd be really simple and easy to say, look, as coaches, when we work with our athletes, we should make sure that we are being kind and, we can still be tough and still be kind and caring for our players. I think that would be the easy way to take this one. What I want to talk about is everything that surrounds a team and a program. And I think this is where we lose focus. We have administration, we have bus drivers, we have parents. I know that can be a tough one for some people. And we also have officials. And I want you to think about what is your level of kindness, or how do you show kindness to those around you? Because I think that is where we're falling short. Let's start with the elephant in the room and parents, because I know that this can be tough. There is definitely a strained relationship between coaching and parents, and it's been a struggle, obviously, for probably since organized youth sports have been developed. But it obviously is more polarizing now with social media and the access to information that we have. And I think one of the problems is we, as coaches, feel underappreciated a lot of times, whether it's financially what we're getting paid or not paid to coach, or the respect that we're getting from players, other coaches, and parents. And we just have built this wall up over time. And I think we need to kind of break through that wall a little bit and help this healing process. And I think one of the ways that we can do this is kindness. When is the last time that you thanked parents for coming to your matches or your games? Right? We have those meetings at the beginning of the year, typically, where you meet the parents and you talk and explain your expectations and thank them for their support. But during the year, how often do you stop to thank them? And I'm not talking about at the end of a match or at the end of a game, your team going over to the stands and saying thank you. I mean you physically thanking a parent. And I fully admit that this is something that I need to do a better job of, and that I'm going to work on for my next season is, I send the emails and I say the thank yous that way, but I don't take the time after a match or when I run into a parent and just talk and say thank you for your support. Even if we have disagreements, there are going to be those times, right, where maybe we don't agree with or the parents don't agree with our coaching decisions, the playing times, all those things happen. But it doesn't mean that we can't still be kind and be nice to one another and still have those differences. So I think we need to challenge ourselves to kind of make sure we extend that olive branch and go out and have a little bit more kindness when we're dealing with the parents. Have real conversations with them. They're as big of a stakeholder in the development and growth of their child as you are. And it doesn't matter whether they're U8 the whole way up to the college levels. They're still a stakeholder. Sure, we can say that the players are the adults and they need to make the decisions, but that doesn't mean that parents stop caring as they get older. All right? So I think we can do a better job of being caring. And again, I know I personally really need to work on that as a coach. I need to thank my parents after games, after driving, especially at the college ranks, driving hours to help us for food and, providing food and just being there. And, sometimes we just let the emotions of the game or the situations affect us. And one of the things that can help us get out of those moods or those situations is a good support group. So we're kind of spiting a good support group because of our feelings. And again, it may not have anything to do with them being parents. It's just you're in a bad mood, or you're struggling with your season or your team, and the last thing you want to deal with is parents, right? I get that. But I think we need to reach out and have that kindness. And then that transfers over into the officials. Officials are working their tails off. There's a shortage at every single level because they get abused a lot. So let's extend the kindness to them. Right, they may blow calls, they may do things that you don't like, but in the end, they're there to help grow the sport, which helps grow what you do. So again, how do you show kindness? One of the things that I started doing is when we have try matches or play multiple matches, I make sure that we feed our refs. It's something small. It's not a big deal. Logistically, it can be a pain in the butt trying to make sure that we get food delivered while we're playing and dealing with all that. But they're giving up their time, and sure, they're getting paid, and who knows, they might be getting paid more than some of the coaches are getting paid. I get all that, but it doesn't mean that we still can't treat them with kindness. We can still be a little bit combative and, still have those, what I like to call friendly battles with the officials during the matches. But when the match is over, a simple handshake, a thank you, hey, here's a water, here's some food, just extend and thank and recognize that, they have a job. And even if some calls didn't go your way, you're going to be fired up and frustrated. You're going to want to yell at them. And that's the way to handle that is you still, you send the email to the assigner or whoever's in charge of the rest to say you had this problem with them, but it doesn't mean that you have to treat them less as a person. You just didn't see eye to eye, or maybe they blew some calls. Just like as a coach, you've probably made some mistakes. And again, we can address all of these things and deal with them with a little bit of kindness. And we've gotten to the point where when you're a kind coach, it's almost like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how nice you are. It shouldn't be that way. We should expect the kindness. And again, I want to stay away from the players, but I mean, that's how it trickles down too. When your coach is good and nice, they can still have their moments. They can still be stern. They can still, be tough, but they should still be kind. So when a coach does an act of kindness, it shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. That should be the normal. And that's the standard that we should hold each other to, not waiting for them to mess up and then bringing them down. And, lastly, we've talked about parents, we've talked about the officials, but let's talk about from one another and a coach, right? We have some battles with coaches. And sure, there are coaches that I do not get along with. Our styles are different. Our personalities are different. There's a lot of people in life that I don't hang out with. So why would it seem that I'm going to get along and like every single coach? Again, I don't have to like them to show them kindness. When a player's hurt, or maybe when they're struggling with their season, just a simple reach out. Hey, I've been there. Good luck. You'll rebound. But again, just show the kindness. We can't let the past always bring in. Sure, there might be some situations where Unicoach had a really bad situation. And I'm not saying that we should forget that and always forgive that. But again, it doesn't mean that we can't act with kindness. We don't have to be jerks about it, to put it bluntly. We can act with kindness to even with those that we are competing with and, battling with all the time. And I think that as a whole in sports, and it doesn't even matter, youth sports, professional, college, international, there's just all this persona of really tough, hard armor for coaches. And then when we see a kind coach, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how kind that coach is. And we need to change that. We need to have that as the natural way. How we coach is kind. Again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be stern and we can't be, tough on the players, and we can't still be stern and tough during matches against our opponents and our opposing coaches, but it just means there's a lot of opportunities for us to show kindness. And I think sometimes we just avoid it. We avoid it because it might be awkward, or we avoid it because perceived weakness. Oh, that coach is really nice and friendly, so he's going to be an easy coach. We can walk all over him. So that is the lesson for this week. Lesson 15, Buddha and the Coach. Kindness should become the natural way of life and not the exception. So Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about it in the comments. Share, subscribe, like. Let's spread the word again with this vlog. I love doing them. I would just love to see this grow. I would love to see everyone take the time and just retweet it, repost it, get it up on TikTok, whatever you want to do. But let's get the conversation. Let's get some interaction. Also, let's get some comments down there in the comments field and talk about how they're going. Again, peace, much love, don't suck, and I will see you all back here next week for lesson 16 of Buddha and the Coach. You can follow us on @717soul on all social media, and you can reach me directly @RealDanMickle across all social media platforms. And you can info@soulperformanceacademy.com or dan@danmickle.com. But would love to hear from you, hear your thoughts, and start this conversation. See everyone later.